You've probably heard of Hollow Knight and have heard the praise it's received for being A, one of the most popular indie games ever made, or B, one of the best game in its genre ever made, and both points can be made for it. It is by far one of the most popular indie games with over 3 million copies sold as of December 2020, and it's almost December 2021 as of this video being made, so I only imagine the sales have gone up as I've continued to see more and more people praise Hollow Knight for what it is. It's an absolute masterful 2D adventure Metroidvania game with fantastic movement and a very high skill ceiling. I know, that's a long title. Now, most people know what a 2D adventure game is, and a lot of great games come to mind when it comes to an indie title, like Celeste, Cuphead, or even a game like Super Meat Boy. But Hollow Knight is more than a 2D adventure. It executes one genre so well that it gets some praise of being one of the best, if not the best, in the genre, and that's the Metroidvania genre. Now, if you don't know what a Metroidvania style game is, it's generally a platforming game with one giant interconnected map where unlocking more items and power-ups can help you unlock new areas of the map to progress the story. This genre is named after the Metroid and Castlevania series as they popularized this type of game, and Hollow Knight is a perfect example of a good Metroidvania. I say all this positivity about the game, but I will say I did not play Hollow Knight that much even with all that it had to offer. I played through the game and did a good amount with the give or take 25 hours I played, but the game offers so much content from free DLCs to collectibles that you could be playing the game for well over 100 hours before finally fully being done in your own eyes. If you're a completionist with your games, you can fully 100% the game, which requires a lot, and then with the free DLC you can 112% the game, which, let's be honest, that's pretty cool. Before the DLC though, the 100% you have all of this to do. I would read it all, but just looking at the wiki makes it a lot easier. Trust me, it's a lot. My casual playthrough, I only got 56% completion, and I was still discovering important items very late into the game, which would then open up more areas for exploration. Now, maybe you're not really a completionist and you really just want to take on the hardest challenge possible. Well, don't worry, Hollow Knight has plenty of challenges set up for you. The boss fights originally are already quite a challenge. You don't have a lot of health in the game, but it's easy to restore based on your soul meter. If you hit enemies, the soul meter goes up, you hold down a button to use some soul and heal yourself. But the fun challenge that a lot of boss fights offer is that you don't really get a lot of time to heal unless you read the movements and attacks of each boss. I found myself dying a few times thinking I'd be able to get a heal off, but the boss comes in and kills me before the heal finishes. And I like that a lot personally. Makes the game much more challenging, even in a casual playthrough. But don't worry, I know some of you are masochists out there because you like pain, I guess? I don't know. But don't worry, the challenge always goes up in this game if you want it to. Once the main game is complete, you unlock Steel Soul mode, which is basically the main game again. But if you die, the entire game resets and you can't access that save file anymore. That sounds fantastic, right? No! Don't listen to him, he sucks at games. Well, another fun challenge mode that I haven't dived into myself is the Pantheons challenge, which are basically boss rushes where you fight a lot of bosses, with each Pantheon ending in a new boss fight. Honestly, I'll probably try to beat all these Pantheons soon so I have more knowledge on the game, but another fun challenge. The Pantheons were the third and final free DLC added to the game that added much more than just some boss battles. Okay, maybe you're not a completionist or hardcore challenge lover, or maybe you're a mix of both. There is one more very major category of gaming that Hollow Knight is loved by, and that's the speedrunning community. It has over 1,000 runners total on speedrun.com and is one of the most active games on the website. I don't see how reliable these numbers are, but regardless, it's still impressive to see. I bet you if you open Twitch right now, there will be plenty of people speedrunning Hollow Knight, and I can see why. I'm personally not a very good speedrunner. God, I wish I was, but I do love to watch them, and playing through Hollow Knight, I can easily tell why someone would speedrun the game. The movement, the combat, the potential for skips in the world, it's absolutely insane. Now, the actual gameplay also is very rewarding and fun. Every new area you stumble upon requires you to buy a map from a character named Cornifer? Whatever. I call him Corn. And the map isn't 100% needed, but really helps a lot. Oh, and a little side note, the little animation your character makes when walking and looking at the map, it's one of those little things in a game that'll make you love it even more. Now, all the areas in the game have unique and fun platforming, and all have different enemies with different sets of difficulty. The game isn't too linear with leading you where you need to go, but you almost always seem to find yourself on a path that has some significance to the main story, and you'll find yourself traveling back to the same area multiple times for multiple different occasions, which is what helps make a great Metroidvania. Every time I went back to the beginning of the game in Dirtmouth, I knew exactly what I needed. Sure, I had my moments where I was completely lost, but even when that happens, the exploration of the entire world felt so good. Discovering new areas without even trying, or meeting new characters and learning about them. This game has a lot of characters that you can so easily miss in your playthrough, and I'm sure I missed a few characters here and there. A really good example is what happened to me when I was playing this game. I was randomly walking about being lost as a fish out of water when I randomly stumbled upon the Coliseum of Fools, where you do the 3 trials and fight a lot of enemies and then a boss, and you can earn a bunch of money for completing the trials, which was a nice little bonus side game to take part in and a good challenge. When I stumbled upon it, I was able to do the first trial, but the second trial got the best of me. What else more can I say? I feel like I've been talking really fast because this game was a lot of fun. Hollow Knight has hundreds of hours of content available to you for a great price of about $20 US. And I know not everyone can afford that, but if it looks like a game you would enjoy, wishlist it. You could receive an email if it goes on sale, which is pretty often. And I know a lot of people are eagerly waiting for the sequel Hollow Knight Silksong, which was announced in 2019, where you play as Hornet in a new world with new enemies. Oh, and if you don't know, Hornet was a boss in the original game. You can fight them 2 times, and I only fought them once. I missed the second fight. Whoops. But she was also a fan favorite for sure, and a very important character in the lore, which I'm not the greatest at, but it's good. Trust me. I'm not good at remembering lore, okay? I'm sorry. Okay, but ever since the announcement, there hasn't been much info released about Silksong, and Team Cherry, the team behind Hollow Knight, is a small group of people originally, so it definitely takes time, a lot of time, to make a masterpiece of a video game. Hell, I mean, the original game of Hollow Knight was on Kickstarter back in the day and had some success with about 57,000 Australian dollars raised with over 2,000 backers. And since this Kickstarter, the game has only grown. It was fully released in February of 2017 on Steam, and 4 years later, it's still being loved by so many and has grown a very strong and dedicated community. And Jesus Christ, it has 157,000 reviews on Steam, and they're overwhelmingly positive, so take that as you will if you haven't played it for yourself. Go have fun, get lost, lose to some bosses, and love every second of doing it, and enjoy a masterpiece like Hollow Knight. Thanks for watching this review. Wait. After I was done editing this, I played about 12 more hours of the game or so and did some more. I went back to discover the last couple areas I missed, fought some new bosses, and took on some new challenges. And let me tell you, for all the gamers out there, this game really is something else. The platform it offers from various different areas like the Path of Pain or the combat from the Coliseum fights. Yeah, I went back and got the second one done. The boss fights in and out of the Pantheons, my goodness. Everything this game has to offer is incredible. It gives you the best feeling of satisfaction once you're able to actually beat it, and everyone can beat it. It may just take you some time. That's the great thing about Hollow Knight that I discovered. It's one of those games that gives you the feeling of progression despite failing multiple times. It makes you study the fight or the landscape and makes you want to beat it. So at the end of the day, you can say you beat it. And at the end of the day, I beat a lot of fun, challenging things in Hollow Knight, and I'm very happy to say it's probably one of the best games that I played all year, and definitely one of the best games that I've ever played. Still doesn't beat Metroid though. Haha.